New surveillance video released in mysterious death of Kendrick Johnson is raising more questions. In January, the 17-year-old's body was found in a rolled-up wrestling mat in his high school gym, and the death was ruled an accident. New surveillance video includes a never-before-seen shot of Kendrick walking into the gym, as well as 1,900 hours of tape from 36 cameras. The video shows multiple angles of the gym, and it appears to be missing timestamps. The Johnson family is calling the video suspicious. Last week, a federal prosecutor opened an investigation, and Johnson's parents believe he was murdered. I was with the family in May as part of their attempt to get this case fully examined. They deserve to know what happened to their son. Joining me now are Kendrick's parents, Jacqueline and Kenneth Johnson, and their attorneys, Benjamin Crump and C.B. King. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Attorney Crump, let me go to you first. All of this new video was released, but what are your concerns?
Well, Reverend Sharpton, Attorney King, and I pointed out some very troubling things because we had got discovered before, and there was a time stamp on the freeze frame photos we got. And then when we get the surveillance video, there's no time tracks on the bottom of the video. And the most troubling thing is out of the 36 cameras, there's 36 angles. All of them are vivid and clear, except the one that is pointing to the wrestling mats in that corner where Kendrick was found dead. That is the only one that is blurry. That is the only one that's distorted.
All right, now, let me hold you right there, Attorney Crump, because I think that what you're raising, I want to go and I want to put that up. You're saying that this is the only tape that is blurred out of all of the tapes, the tape that actually shows the scene where he was actually found.
Yes, sir.
And we're talking about 1,900 hours of tapes?
1,900 hours of tape. The only one that's distorted is the one that's the crux of the matter here. Everything else is just fine.
And you also saying that the time at the bottom that you saw on the original tape is now not on the security tapes that have been handed over as a result of the court decision.
Yes, sir. Now, we find that very mysterious. The suspicion is, as Attorney King really pointed out, when we showed the press the still frames, you see the time clearly. And now when they give the surveillance to us, like the judge ordered, the time isn't denoted there.
Let me go to you, Jacqueline Johnson and Kenneth Johnson. One of the things that's getting a lot of attention today is that the coroner's report. And the coroner's report said this, I'm quoting, "The investigative climate was very poor to worse. When I arrived on the scene, the body had been noticeably moved. I do not approve of the manner this case was handled. Not only was the scene compromised, the body was moved. The integrity was breached by opening a sealed body bag. Information necessary for my lawful investigation was withheld." As the parents, when you hear the coroner say they interfered with the integrity of his investigation, that he was in many ways not pleased with how the scene was handled, how do you feel when you hear that? And as people now understand, even the coroner had raised some serious questions. Mr. Johnson or Ms. Johnson?
Well, it's real troubling and just go to show the more disrespect to my family, what the sheriff department have done to us. It just doesn't make any sense at all. You know, they treated Kendrick just like he wasn't even human.
Now, Attorney King, the initial autopsies You had the autopsies. The initial one showed no signs of blunt force trauma on Johnson's face or body. It stated he died of accidental asphyxia. But the second independent autopsy shows Kendrick suffered blunt force from trauma to the right neck and soft tissues, which were consistent with an inflicted injury. And it stated that he died of unexplained, apparent, non-accidental blunt force trauma. I mean, how do you deal with the difference in terms of the outcomes or opinions of the two different autopsies?
Well, Reverend Al, I think it's fairly safe to say that this is nothing more than another piece to the puzzle. You described Kendrick's passing or his death as a mysterious one. And the Sheriff's Department has described it as being a freak death or freak accident. We think, of course, it can't be any more freak than the investigation that followed. This investigation showed that he had died as a result of blunt force trauma that Dr. Anderson, the pathologist who they had hired, had said to us that it didn't appear to be an accidental blow that he suffered.
Now, Attorney Crump, the federal government has now stepped in and announced an investigation. We'll be watching it. What, under federal law, are you hoping that they proceed to really look at thoroughly?
Well, we hope that they look at not only the murder mystery that claimed this young man's life, Jack and Ken's child, but we want them to look at the governmental agents' actions into this investigation, because as his mother and father have asked Reverend Al, they want to hold whoever killed their child responsible and whoever covered up for the persons who killed their child accountable.
All right, I'm going to leave it there, and we'll certainly be following this story. Kenneth and Jacqueline Johnson, Benjamin Crump, and C.B. King, thank you for your time tonight, and our thoughts and prayers are with you. We'll be right back.